Hey, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another MLB The Show 18 preview-ish video today. Now, what I want to talk about is all the new animations that MLB, or San Diego Studios, is putting into the game. And there's a lot of talk about them, right? And for me, coming from a game that's just very, very, very animation-based in Madden, I feel like I've got a lot of experience in dealing with new animations, right? And one thing you need to be careful of is that anytime new animations are introduced into the game, it actually takes less control from the player. So it's taking a lot of the skill and the control and the timing of things out of your hands. Now, while this may indeed truly make the game better, there's a lot of things in here that we need to really think about and see. We see the clock is winding down. We are getting close. So we're finally going to put our hands on the game and see how it truly is ourselves. But just the thought and the idea of new animations is really good, and it's really bad. The way it's good is that a lot of times they've talked about more so fielding animations, balls in the dirt, stealing, tagging runners out, true just defensive animations. Those are all improved, and that's great because so many times now I got so frustrated, and I'm sure you guys did as well if you played in the past, where you would sit there and you'd pitch and, maybe you throw a ball in the dirt intentionally, runner swings, or the batter swings, misses, ball's in the dirt, man advances from first to second as easy as could be. So annoying that why can't your player, your catcher, your created player if he was playing catcher, get the ball to second base in time? It's because the animation was just horrible, right? So that's a lot better now, hopefully. Same thing with stealing and all that, where you couldn't actually tag runners sliding into the base. You couldn't tag runners running around the base. So much of that was just bad. It was just so bad, and it was infuriating to play day in and day out. Just seeing things completely out of your control cost you, maybe not necessarily the game, but a run here or there, maybe making your game a little more stressful, certainly making your life a little more stressful every time you were playing. But while it's great that those things are being introduced, more animation means a smaller skill gap in the game. The skill gap will still definitely be there when it comes to pitching and hitting, right? Which is obviously the biggest thing in the game, hands down, right? You still have to be a good pitcher. You still have to be a good hitter. If you're good at those things, you're still going to be great at the game. But what is going to come down more to not necessarily your skill or your talent are the ratings, fielding ratings in particular, defensive ratings, throw ratings, everything like that is really going to be so far out of your control now. And it does provide a slight pay-to-win aspect within the game. When you're hitting or you're pitching, if you're really good at hitting your mark where you're pitching the ball, you could kind of use anyone, really. You obviously would like to have the best players available on your team. But if you didn't, there's still people you could get away with using because you're a good pitcher. Similar with hitting. If you can still put the reticle on the ball, you're going to be a good hitter regardless. You may not be getting the same contact or the same power or the same... You may not be as efficient as you would be, say, using someone like a Hanley Ramirez versus a Jason Hayward, right? Random example. I got to land on my brain. Of course. So the skill is still going to be in there, and I'm really, really excited to see how this all works, to see the new camera angles, to see how the reticle works, to see how much you can miss. But what we're going to see here is that defensive ratings, steal ratings, it's going to be so much more less about timing and opportunity and skill as it is about you've got a really good player there, right? Obviously, you're still in the base. You still want someone who's fast, 99 speed, 99 stealing would still be great. However, as good as you may be at stealing now, you may not get the steal because someone may have the great catcher there. And you could be playing someone who is a terrible player, but maybe they got, say, Mike Piazza behind the mound, right? Or behind the plate. Jesus Christ. So bad at this. I haven't talked baseball in a long time. So say you've got Piazza there. He's going to throw that guy out more than in normal, you know? And I don't necessarily like that. I like the idea that you're going to be able to get the animations to have that opportunity to get people out. But I don't truly like when something like that is extremely stat driven, things that are out of your control. Again, bringing it back in Madden terms, pass blocking, run blocking. Those are things you really truly have no control as the game flows on. You just hope that you get the correct animation. And that's what MLB is going to be on defense. 100% animation based. You're going to hope that a hard grounder to third, you get the right animation. And the best way to get that animation is to have the best player. The best way to have that player is to spend the stubs or to grind, hopefully. And that's going to be the only way that you can really do it. So it's exciting, and I'm nervous. I'm really nervous. Anytime games talk about we're adding new animations, this is this. It's going to fix a lot of problems, which is great. Because God knows everything needed to be fixed. Tremendously needed to be fixed. But I do worry that the game, on a defensive standpoint, is strictly going to be based on the players you have. Now, they've done some other good things with that, where they're forcing you to put players in position now, which, I mean, is a good thing. It really is. And they're doing a lot of other things with your created player, which is also good. There's other videos out there. I don't want to cover that because other people have covered it better than I can, honestly. But I do want to warn you guys that when you are building your team, you need to make sure that you have players who can play defense. Because if they can't, you're going to get beat on a lot of real easy shit that gets hit to you. If you have a terrible shortstop, he's not going to be great at getting that ball there unless the ball's hit right at him. He's not going to be able to make the run. It's just not going to happen. Whereas in the past, you probably could. You could get away with using some lesser players. And again, this is focusing into the same way that Madden has done things, where you truly do need the best players out there to give yourself the best chance to win. Obviously, the best players in the world. Someone like maybe Cardinal Bird, right? Who's an amazing player. He doesn't need the best team, but he's going to have the best team regardless, because he's going to win. He's going to spend his money. He's going to spend his time. He's going to get the team that is there. So when you build your team on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 7, whenever it is that you are building your team for Diamond Dynasty, you need to pay attention to these things. It's going to be very crucial in my opinion. Obviously, I haven't played the game, so I don't truly know. I mean, this is my opinion, but I think it's going to happen. And it's good. It's good that you're not going to be screwed by the computer, but it's bad that if you happen to be a better fielder just in general, you're not going to necessarily reap the rewards of it. You're just going to hope that that Tulowitzki hits the mark for you every time. And he probably will hit it 9 out of 10 times at least. You're going to get the elite animation, right? Again, this is very much like Madden. If you guys actually have played Madden, if you've played Madden, especially this year, you know that there are thresholds on ratings. And I hope there are not thresholds in MLB, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are, where something like a 90 fielding unlocks a different set of animations, so on and so forth. That's something that we're all going to have to pay attention to. And if you guys ever see anything like that, you know, let everyone know, let everyone in the community know, so we can all at least be sure that we are building the correct teams together. Maybe, you know, someone like a Jose Ramirez has 89 fielding. 89 fielding could be the same as 80 fielding or 75 fielding, if you guys don't know what thresholds mean. But when you hit the 90, bam, all of a sudden that man is doing Ozzie Smith backflips, getting the ball to first base, and he is an amazing player. So that's what I'm going to be looking forward to. That's what I'm going to be testing out myself and trying different guys. I'm not the greatest hitter in the game, so I'm going to have to get people that hit. But similar to Madden, I always want to build a team where I know that the backside, the defensive part of the game, is going to work well for me. Because you can't be giving up runs or hits or extra bases just because your computer players aren't that good. You can't. You just can't. You can't risk that, especially in a game like MLB when you're playing online. A lot of the games are really close and really intense because the matchup system last year at least was really good. So keep your eye on that. When you build your team, please do. If you guys happen to see anything, you happen to see any thresholds or any ratings or things that you're noticing, please let me know so we can get the information out to everyone. And if you're another YouTuber who happens to be watching this, I know probably not a lot of MLB guys watch me, right? I understand that. But let's get together. Let's make sure the community knows everything. Let's make this a great community based on the information. Share information. Share knowledge. There's no need to have a separation. And that's one thing you see a little bit last year with MLB. It's a good community, and it comes together on the issues, similar with Madden, but everyone needs to come together. All the content creators, whether it's on Twitch, it's on YouTube, Mixer, whatever the hell else you guys could possibly be streaming on. Who knows? But please pay attention to animations. It's going to be the biggest thing this year that is going to change the way you build your team in Diamond Dynasty. That is a fact. That's a fact.